Myself, Sudhanshu Panda, I am an associate professor of GIS and environmental science in the Institute of Environmental Spatial Analysis of University of North Georgia. It is down southeast of United States. Dr. Panda finished his or completed his BS degree in agricultural engineering from India, Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology, and he finished his master's degree in environmental remote sensing for geoinformational development. It's a long name, but it is about space technology application and research. Today, our topic will be on that. It is about remote sensing, GIS, GPS, information technology, all these things. And he finished his PhD in agricultural engineering from North Dakota State University. And he has 27 years of professional experience and working in different field of your job area, like in government job, in academia, in multinational company job experience. He is a full-time teaching faculty now. Whole responsibility is to teach, but he does a lot of research. Dr. Panda is the editor-in-chief of the open source journal of Spatial Hydrology, and editor of these two journals, Journal of Biodiversity and Endangered Species, and editor of the Journal of Ecosystems and Ecography. He has published more than 32 book chapters, and most of them in Encyclopedia Global Warming and Climate Change, Encyclopedia GIS, Encyclopedia Environmental History, and a lot of other book chapters. He has numerous publications and conference proceedings. Above all, Dr. Panda aspires and works towards to be one of the best teachers who make life-changing improvement in disadvantaged students. That means not the too smart student. So anybody can work with too smart student. So that is his goal. And his presentation is about geospatial technology application based alligator snapping turtle habitat suitability analysis in southern Georgia for preservation decision support. So let me acknowledge my co-authors. These three are my students. Two already graduated, Mitchell Cass and Ashley Crane, they graduated. Ashley is now doing masters in University of Georgia, Athens. Michelle is working as a naturist in Sandy Creek Nature Center. And Natalie is still continuing her undergraduate degree in the Institute of Environmental Spatial Analysis. And Aisha is one of the unique program in the country. In undergraduate level, we teach and do research and do your service learning project on environmental management decision support using the top-rated geospatial technology. And I will explain what is the advantage of geospatial technology in today's time to do any kind of research we do. It would make you efficient. At the same time, it will take less time and less money to do those research. I'll give brief description about the advantage of geospatial technology, then we'll directly move over to the AST, that alligator snapping turtle, how we can determine their habitat suitability, and that way we can really help the managers, environmental managers, who can take constructive or positive decision support so that those endangered species can survive for long. So I'll talk about introduction, background, and objective. All the background pictures you are seeing, these are alligator turtles, and all these are from web, and they are free to put. So let's talk about geospatial technology. Geospatial technology is four things together. Number one is your geographic information system, and some of you know about GIS. All the maps you guys are seeing around, these are the handiwork of GIS technology. And most of us folks who do not know about GIS much, they know that it is just for map mapping. No, that is wrong. Map making is only 5% of the job of GIS. 95% it is very advanced work. Some of them are spatial analysis. I'll explain a little bit later what is spatial analysis. So when you go for environmental management, you deal with 100 different aspects of environment. So how to bring them together and come to decision support, GIS can make that work for you. Check that social factors, biodiversity, engineering, land use, land cover, environmental other considerations. They can be together analyzed in one place so that you can get the real world decision support or real world information. And also GIS does data layer overlaying and other DSS design, decision support system design. And your GIS makes efficient and quick decision support. We will be learning at the end of the presentation how quick the geospatial technology and GIS makes our research and how efficient it makes. And another part of geospatial technology is remote sensing. Most of us we know about satellites, we know about drones. We know drones in the bad way, like it is killing people. But drones does so much good stuff. UAV, they are called. Unmanned aerial vehicles, we can take pictures just 800, 9,000, 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 feet above. We can take picture of the earth, and that way we can analyze the entire earth, which cannot be done just by our naked eye and just moving on the earth. Remote sensing, aerial remote sensing also, L is missing. So land cover, environmental resource detection, estimation and mapping are done through remote sensing. And remote sensing is not only understanding the land cover type, it understands everything about our earth. Even how much water vapor we have in the atmosphere, it understands. There are satellites, even it tells you how much is your, we have magnetic impact in the atmosphere, it does also calculate. There are satellites, it tells us through ground penetrating radar how much soil moisture in the soil there, which will help you in crop production. Then global positioning system, most of us know it. This is in your car there. When you travel, it will tell you how to go from one place to another. And it is governed by a lot of 24 satellites, workable. United States have them in the space. Now we have GNSS, Global Navigation Satellite System. USSR, India, Europe, they are sending satellites to be part of the system. And also location mapping analysis is done by that. And finally, information technology. Geospatial technology is a hardcore computational program. So in that we do database management, we do web GIS development online. You can go, you can do your environmental analysis or location mapping, everything on web. And also programming like Python, Visual Basic, Model Builder, which I will show you today. This is the automated way of doing research, so that with single click, your entire project of 20 days you worked hard, it could be done in just one run. You can go play golf and come back, all things done. And some of the pictures, this is one of the picture I picked from my book chapter. That's a remote sensing book, a handbook of remote sensing. It is not published yet, it will be published in September or October this year. And this is one of my work, you can see online your GIS application. This is a campus. They have the trees. I developed this one with my student so that anybody can go to this website these are the trees. If I zoom it, I just less zoom so you don't see it. You click on a tree, it will tell you what type of tree. At the end, it will have a link to the picture, and you can see how the tree looked like. When it was planted, what is the name of the tree, so all these things, the girth of the tree, the leaf area index, all these things are there. And this is the United States your GPS satellite system. I'll go quick. And this is also another one taken from the web. You can see GIS. This is one of the coolest tool for any kind of academia or researcher or any person. Because GIS, I teach my students, GIS is one technology which is used in any field of application you think of. Some of my students argued with me, hey, how GIS is applied in math? Because you saw that the Python scripting, the VBA scripting, you can do with GIS called map algebra. And also you can do raster calculator. So what does it mean? I take pride when I'm teaching students about raster calculator. Like a mathematician, they do only 2 multiplied by 4, 8 only one time. They cannot do 10 applications, 10 math applications in one time. But with map algebra and raster calculator, we have the image with millions of pixels. All million pixels are multiplied by something or mathematical inference drawn from them in one single time. Entire image with million pixels calculated in one go. So that is the beauty of GIS. You can see all kind of starting from engineering design, site selection, watershed analysis, resource inventories, land management, network analysis, incident mapping, spatial measurement, corridor selection. Every field you think of in the world in environmental management can be done efficiently and in the best possible way using geospatial technology. I'm an engineer, so I know how great your GIS or geospatial technology make my field of research. Okay, let's talk about the present topic we are discussing, geospatial technology in biodiversity habitat suitability analysis. So we have to have a desire to sustain and increase economic viability of an area, always lead to biodiversity habitat infringement. What does it mean? The population is growing in the world, so that's the reason people always want to infringe the forest land where nobody living. They don't care about who lives, elephant or any kind of animal live there or other fauna. So they want to convert deforestation, they do deforestation and change the land for agriculture purpose or for building purpose. So that is the first step of infringing the habitat of a flora or fauna. That is the only reason we are having lot of species kind of diminishing from the earth slowly. And for the land compatibility and habitat suitability model, always consider 2 main components. This is from my land use conservation class teaching lecture. So number 1, find out the constraints of a land. If the land has good quality slope, if it is too steep slope, do not destroy that particular land. Do not infringe it. Let the animals or the plants live there. It will cost you more to convert that land to develop something in that. If the soil is good, if you have a bad soil there, why you need to cut the forest? Don't deforest it. Just leave it, whatever plants grows there. Your crop will never grow there because soil is not good. And when people do that, those people do not know about it. They need to be educated before they do this kind of your habitat infringement. Find out the environmental damage you will do. Displacement of population, if at all happening. If you are doing something, infringing some land, then check that if population displacement happens. Find out damage to biodiversity. And also, same time, find out how much wastage you are doing, what is the cost of it. And features that make land attractive. Okay, check this one. If you have this thing, it is okay. I don't vouch because I am kind of a tree hugger. I am really hardcore environmentalist. I will not vouch for it that you cut forest or do something. But if you want to at all do, it has economic importance to you, then check. If it at all this infringement is giving you economic benefit or not. If it is have good quality soil or it has easy access to site, you cannot just go in the middle of the forest and cut the forest and make a habitat there and just keep those other faunas in trouble. So in GIS, everything is done in a cartographic way, step-by-step approach, and through the presentation I will show you how we do it, and always check that this is the loop here. And environmental management is a big thing because it deals with hundreds of different features. We cannot really get 100% accurate correlation or 100% accurate result for it. But we can go for a certain extent, evaluate the result. If the result is not good enough, then you can go back and you can go back and really you can go back and start the modeling again by changing the parameters, and we'll see what parameters lead to our my presentation or our presentation today. So here is a beautiful example. GIS is not very new, but actually the application of GIS is honestly just only 15-20 years, a hardcore application. It was always there. Dr. Snow, he was a doctor treating cholera patients in London. At the time, thousands of people died, but he thought why it is happening. So he wanted to find out, pinpoint what is the reason, which well or which water source is really having bad water. So what he did, he found out all the cholera patients, their house. So he mapped them, these houses, just on plain paper. These are the house or cholera death in this house happened. And he found out, he also mapped all the wells, water pump, from which well they are being pumped. And he found out a good correlation. Most of the death happened around this well. So instead of treating all the wells in London, the money was spent only just making this well better, or not having this water to be sent to public to drink. So this was done in 1854. And how it was done? It was done with like kind of paper. You can put light below. You can see both papers and then draw over it. And that technology is called overlay. So now computer is so good, you can do overlay just like that within no time. And another one before coming to the presentation, why geospatial technology in agricultural or environmental resource management? Why not something else? Because this is the tool, see here, this is called automated geospatial model developed in your GIS model builder. You can just, you don't need to be a really high quality programmer. You don't need to know coding at all. This is just like simple dragging, dropping. Just these are the tools, they are available with our GIS software. You can drag here, bring your data, then it's a continuous process. It looks like a flow chart to you. It is not. It is a flow chart for looking purpose. But actually underneath, it is thousand of lines of coding. You don't write a single bit of code. You just need to know which tool you will be using to analyze which data, and all the, see, finally check that all the layer combined in by one tool. Then it gives you the last result. This one was a study to find out the best location for growing blueberry in entire Georgia. So all the locations using soil data, we use here soil drainage, soil permeability, soil pH, land use, land cover data, and chilling hours like blueberry. If you have longer chilling hours, then it will die. It will not produce good fruit. So that way we decided just by simply one modeling. And for entire Georgia, it's a huge state. If you just go scout every place, it will take you years to figure out, take the soil from every location and test it. It will not be done. So now the next one, this is another example one of my students did for Madagascar. Like in the Madagascar coast, some area they are having less fish. Like fishermen do not get fish much. Why not? So we figure out mapping it. Like we have land use, population density, road density, river type, distance from coast. If too much people live in the coast, then they are overfishing. So that's the reason they are dying. If the water is polluted, the river is sending polluted water, then fish might be going to somewhere else, migrate to somewhere else. Then if it is further away from the coast, then more fish will be there. So we use different layers to figure out which one is the best location for having fish. Check that this looks beautiful maps, and finally we decided, based on the color you can see it here, which is the best location to go for fishing. Or do some distance support, make the fish grow much, do not do fishing there. After 5 years come back, so more fish will be there. Now we are coming to our real presentation. I gave you brief example of geospatial technology, how it can help manage environment in an efficient way. So let's listen to what we did with alligator turtle. So alligator snapping turtles are species found in the southwestern part of United States. So you can check that they have like a tail of an alligator, okay, look like alligator. And this is tiny alligators, you can see. These are all taken from web, these pictures. And alligator snapping turtle, they are restricted to rivers and freshwater habitats. They do not really grow much in the salt water. Spend majority of their time in deep water. And eat plants, eat fish, they eat water birds also, eat smaller turtles, snakes and frogs. Females lay eggs in well-drained soil. This is the important one for our analysis. Like if they do not have the opportunity to lay eggs, then the population will be gone. So that's the reason our job is to find out which soil is really easy for them to make burrows and put eggs, and then egg can be fertilized for making new ASTs, okay? And females nest within 200 meters area of water bodies. That is important. So that means our suggestion will be to protect a 200-meter buffer of the stream. If we know that these locations are good for ASTs, then those areas should be protected. And have been known to live up to 75 years in captivity. And think about all these things, by just normal way analyzing will be very difficult. We need to have GIS data so that it can be just analyzed very quickly. Now, lot of predators for the ASTs are wild hogs, your fire ants, raccoons, skunks. Chemical pollution is a big issue, and we have, United States has a lot of geospatial data. So one of them is called TMDL data. So TMDL data tells us which stream up to what length is impaired for what kind of your impairment, like nitrogen, phosphorus, or fecal coliform, or something else. We will bring that data and put it into our analysis. And also unintended fishing methods also. Some of them, guys, they go for fishing the fish, but they kind of catch these turtles and take home. Commercial and personal harvest, long-lived organisms with slow maturity rate, and not endangered but threatened. The ASTs, your alligator snapping turtles, are not endangered yet, but they could be very soon. But they are a threatened species. This is all we gathered from our literature review, my students and I. So objective of the today's study, number one, conduct a thorough literature review, which I just explained, on the ASTs to understand their habitat, food source, external threats, diseases, and other living related parameters. Number two objective, obtain and process the geospatial data for the AST habitat suitability model development. And develop automated geospatial model to indicate most suitable locations for the AST habitat for preservation decision support. So now it will be fun because lot of your maps you will see. Methodology, this is the study area we go with. This is Georgia, guys, and we are now here, Nevada. So this is the southern part of Georgia we used for our study purpose. That's our area of interest, AOI. And suitable data, based on our literature review, we found out these are the data will be good for analyzing their habitat. Number one, Georgia counties we got to get those AOI. These are the county layer. And major rivers we need to know, because river will help finding the suitability for AST breeding and living. And major roads, finding threats for AST movements. If any road crossover or very closely go to that river, then they will be threatened. How? Because they go for 200 meters per breeding. Sometimes you will be amazed, roads goes parallel with the stream. And there will be motorcycle or car or something, they could just run over it. And it is a feasibility, it happens a lot. And by the way, if roads crosses the river, mostly in United States, people mess up the stream over the bridge. They dump things, they will go by the car, they will dump over the bridge, nobody see them. So that's the reason that locations are mostly bad for the water source. And measure with the digital elevation model, this will give us the slope. Like sometimes they cannot climb really high slope, so we need to find out which slope is good for them. Then land use, land cover data, it will tell us which land cover is good for they are living, like sand, dunes, all these things. They will live well. If it is a forest, they can live well. In the shrub area, they can live well. I have those information later. And your Starsgo soil data. We use a little bit low resolution data because if we go high resolution, it will take a lot of time to process. So we go for Starsgo soil data to find out best soil for those guys to live. So now it will be very quick. This is the map of your elevation map. You can check 0 to 403 meter elevation, the southern Georgia area. And this is the slope map. From there, we created the slope map using GIS technology. That way it tells that the higher slope is in the red color. Lower slope, these are the flat area mostly. Your red slopes are higher. It is 6 to 19%. And I'll tell you at what percent is good for them later. This is the land use, Georgia land use trend map, GLOT map. This number tells that 0 is water. 0 is not classified. 7 is beach, sand and dune. 11 is water. 22, 24 they are urban, like that, okay? And the same way, this is 2011 land use land cover data. Based on color, you can see where is open water, where is developed land, where is shrubs, all these things. And now, this is your Starsgo soil map. And this one, from the Starsgo soil map, we will create individual soil characteristic maps later. And this one is your primary road. Check that. Almost everywhere road. If you zoom it, you will see that they will be further away. And this is your AOI streams, major streams. Your alligator turtle will not live in small creeks or storm drains. So that's the reason we went for a little bit, I think 1:24,000 scale streams, or we can call it RF1 streams. And this is AOI easement map. It is telling that this area is getting preserved now. Yeah. And check that this is the coolest thing. This is all our work. So this is looks like kind of a flow chart too. It is not. It is like hours and hours of work, and it will just click. There is a run button in the model builder. You click on, everything will run overnight, maybe 2 nights, 3 nights, and it will just give you result. It will write results. These green areas are the results. Green, your ellipse. The blue ellipse are the input data, which we created or we found, get it from other sources. The rectangles, your yellow rectangles are the tools used. So if anybody wants to know how it works, I can later explain. But you can check that first we have, we created the AOI to find out our study area to work. This is the entire Georgia county file. We clipped those counties we'll be using for our study. So we got the Georgia, South Georgia counties. That is our AOI. Then we have your GLOT image. We have Georgia Starsgo data, soil data. This is your combined conservation land, which is already is a conservation land in Georgia. And why it is a combined? Because different organization conserve different lands. That is the beauty of US. Not a single department conserve land here. So a lot of departments together they conserve. And this is the easement data, this is your stream data, road data, then this is the, I think this is the DEM data, this is the NLCD data. Then we clip or extract by mask to our study area. Then for the stream data, check that we buffer it, buffer by 200 meter. Because we know from the literature review, they go 200 meters to lay eggs. Yes. Yeah. Then AOI streams, so you got that. Then we reclassify. I'll show you the reclassify, how we reclassify the image. Reclassify tells us which is suitable, which is unsuitable. That tool will just make such certain area suitable, certain area unsuitable. We give 0 and 1. If it is 1 suitable, 0 is unsuitable. So, and finally, when all the layers created, there is a tool called weighted sum. This one is the important one. How the weighted sum is used? We have a deliberation, that's called Delphi method. Do not do research on your own if you are doing environmental research. You need to include people with all kind of area knowledge. Forestry people, agriculture people, your engineering people, animal husbandry people, everybody deals with that. So bring opinion of those guys. In your opinion, I have this data. Which data you think is most important for you? I will have a table for you. In another study I did that, so you will see it. So slope we took more than 5%, which was, it is actually less than 5% suitable, and rest was unsuitable. Because less than 5%, they can really climb. Your GLOT data, 7, 20, 31, 93, these are suitable layers, rest are unsuitable. The NLCD data, these numbers, these are suitable, rest are unsuitable for the AST to grow. Your bulk density, low of the soil, less than 1.3 is suitable, or rest is unsuitable. If you have high bulk density, then the soil is compact. They cannot really dig burrows in that. And your drainage, if the soil is well drained or maybe moderately well drained, then they can dig the soil and make burrows. Yeah. Then we have these 5 classes. As I told, we use the Delphi method to find out what are the percentage of each class will take. And this is the tool, weighted sum tool. We provided for all these 5 classes with 20% weight, 15% weight, then it gives you final suitability. Here you will get that Delphi analysis. This is one of the other study I did. We have 12 layers to analyze, and we asked 10 people to grade them based on the suitability. And then we created the mean weight and inverse weight and the relative weight. This is the relative weight. You saw that it was kind of used here. This is the relative weight. So now, let me show you quickly the results. This is your AOI stream 200 meter buffer. And if I zoom it, you will see the buffer wider, like 200, 200, 400 meter around it. And this is your streams passing through that 200 meter buffer. Roads, yes. And this one is your drainage, soil drainage data. W is well drained soil. So moderately well drained, those. And this is the bulk density data. The values, you saw it here. And this one is your drainage based suitable map. All the green colors, these are suitable for AST to live, and these are not. This is the same way, green color are suitable based on the bulk density, and others are not. And this one is your land use. The 1 is suitable, 0 is not suitable, because this is mostly saline water here. And the GLOT data, 1 is suitable and 0 is not. For particular that data. And this one is slope, almost every place is suitable for AST to live. And now this is the final AST habitat suitability analysis. You check that if it is 0.15, because we have 5 different layers. We multiplied by different weights. So when we add them together, you get certain value from 0.15 to 2.05. So 2.15, the red colors are for sure, that is the best suitable habitat for them. 0.15, it is suitable, but low suitable, okay? So that's the way it goes. And now, these are the maps. You see it here. These are the area which is preserved already by Georgia. So our objective is to find out which area is not. I didn't do it because we just want to give them the entire result, so that way they can find out which area they do not preserve, they would preserve for ASTs. So I'm finishing. Now conclusion, the current conservation areas in the state geospatial data was taken into consideration to determine the suggested new preservation area for AST habitat. Our study result could be used by Georgia Department of Natural Resources to AST preservation decision, The automated geospatial model developed for this study can be replicated for any study, any habitat suitability study. That model we developed, somebody can take it, just take the input data out, plug in their own input data, and few other tools they can plug in, it will work. This study was set out to explain and show the areas that are best suitable for alligator snapping turtle to live, reproduce, and sustain a healthy life. So this is all about